ค่ะวันนี้เราจะมาทำแบบฝึกหัด B กับ C กันนะคะในหน้าที่29ค่ะแล้วแบบฝึกหัด B กับ C จะต้องทำอะไรบ้างเดี๋ยวมาดูกันแบบฝึกหัด B นะคะจากคำสั่งบอกว่าให้เรา read the article again ก็คือให้เราอ่านบทความหน้าที่28อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะแล้วก็ circle the correct words to make the sentences true according to the article แล้วก็ให้เราวงกลมนะคะคำตอบที่คิดว่าถูกต้องที่จะทำให้ประโยคแต่ละประโยคเนี่ยตรงตามที่ปรากฏในบทความค่ะอย่างเช่นข้อที่1 The most popular video war game sold 6.5 million copies in one day or one month ตรงนี้ต้องเลือกนะคะว่าคำตอบคือ day หรือ month เพราะว่าคำถามเนี่ยถามว่าวิดีโอที่เป็นเกมสงครามเนี่ยนะคะที่ยอดนิยมที่สุดเนี่ยขายได้ถึง 6.5 ล้านแผ่นใน1วันหรือ1เดือนค่ะให้เลือกอันที่ถูกต้องนะคะโดยอิงจากบทความหน้าที่28ค่ะต่อมา part C นะคะ exercise C เขาบอกให้เรา find the bold words in the article ให้เราหาคำที่เน้นตัวหนาเหล่านี้ค่ะอย่างเช่น launch inhabitant consist of หาคำเหล่านี้ที่อยู่ในบทความนะคะแล้วนักศึกษาลองเลือกดูซิว่าคำตอบที่ถูกต้องที่จะมาเติมให้ประโยคสมบูรณ์เนี่ยควรจะเป็น A หรือ B อย่างเช่นข้อที่1เขาบอกว่า after a launch ก็คือหลังจากที่เราเริ่มแนะนำผลิตภัณฑ์ตัวใหม่ไปเนี่ยนะ a company starts to a product บริษัทเริ่มที่จะ A sell คือขายสินค้าหรือ B design ก็คือออกแบบสินค้าหลังจากที่ได้เริ่มเปิดตัวผลิตภัณฑ์แล้วเนี่ยเราจะขายหรือว่าเราจะออกแบบให้เลือก A หรือว่า B นะคะโอเคนะข้ออื่นก็เช่นเดียวกันค่ะให้เลือกว่า A หรือ B เป็นข้อที่ถูกต้องค่ะ
Okay, so now let's start part B. In this case, read the article again. Okay, and what you need to do is circle the words to make the sentences true according to the article. Okay, so how are you going to do that? So read each sentence, find where it says something comparable to that, and choose, is it, for example, a day, 6.5 million copies in one day, or in 1 month? The longest snake is shorter or longer than the world's longest long jump? The people at one Ebenezer place have no or a few next door neighbors. The worst time for accidents is during the wet or cold season. Which one of these has the most skyscrapers? Shibam, Dubai, or Hong Kong? Lastly, the oldest living tree is or is not in one of the oldest forests. Okay? Try these out. So go back to the reading, figure out where they're talking about the video game, figure out how many, what was it, over a month or a day that they sold 6.5 million copies. Okay? So pause the video, take a few minutes, do 1 through 6, circle the correct answer. Good luck. Let's go over this. So repeat after me. The first one, the most popular video war game sold 6.5 million copies in one. Now what did you get? Day or month, right? So when you did this, oops, you had to look for the 6.5 million games down here. You see it? The video war game, however, sold 6.5 million copies in the first 24 hours. 24 hours is a day, right? That's a day. Not a month. That's just a day. Okay? So that's number one. Number two. The longest snake is shorter or longer than the world's longest long jump. Sorry. So when you were reading through this, we have the world's longest snake. Whoops, sorry about that. It's 7.67 meters long, right? And compare that to the world's longest long jump, right? The world record long jump was 8.95 meters. So, which is longer? the long jump is longer, so thus the longest snake is shorter, right? Shorter than the world's longest long jump. Now, let's take a look at the Ebenezer place here. I'm going to use a highlighter. I hope this is easier to read. Okay, so the people at one Ebenezer place, right, have no or a few next door neighbors. So one Ebenezer place. You have to remember, what is that about? That's an address. One Ebenezer place. Like we live at 111 University Road in Korat and Suranari. That's our address. Well, one Ebenezer place, right? So that's this one. The address is one Ebenezer place, and it says it consists of one house. Now, a neighbor, that's the house next to your house. So, if if there's no house next to your house, that means on your street you have no neighbors, right? I look to the left, I look to the right, nobody lives there. I'm the only person on that street. So, the correct answer is no neighbors. Okay. 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 So, number 4. The worst time for accidents, on the road is during the wet or the cold season. Now, accidents, of course, refers to cars sliding off the road, crashing into something, this kind of thing. And does it happen during the wet or cold season? So what did you find, right? We're talking about the most dangerous road. And it's a little bit hidden here. Let's try this. The road is most dangerous. That's what we're looking for. Most dangerous is going to be the place, the worst time for accidents, right? Because what happens? A lot of accidents. Accidents are car problems. So, in the rainy season, when it is muddy and wet. So 2 key words, wet and rainy. So we know it has to be during the wet season, right? Wet. Doesn't say cold. There's no specific mention of cold, but it definitely says rainy or wet. Number 5. Now we're talking about skyscraper city. Which one has the most skyscrapers? Now, don't forget, we were talking about oldest, but now the question is about the most, right? Where do you find the most? Well, did you get Hong Kong? Let's see where it says that, right? It says towards the end, Hong Kong, the place with the most skyscrapers, has, and then it tells you how many. But the key is has the most number, right? How many? 2,354. Number 6. The oldest living tree is or is not in one of the oldest forests. I'd say this one a little trickier, right? Well, let's take a look at this one. See if I can make this work. Sorry. Uh-oh. It's very hard to get this to work. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so let's try that again. So we're looking for the oldest living tree. So, now we talk about the oldest forests in the world are in the Andes, which is in Chile and Argentina, with an average age of 2,500 years old. The oldest living tree is a pine tree in the mountains of California. I could show you more. I'm having a little trouble fitting this, but in the White Mountains, the oldest living tree is in the White Mountains of California. So we have 2 different areas, or basically, Chile and Argentina are near each other, but in South America. California is in North America. The oldest tree is in North America, in California. The oldest forests happen to be in Chile and Argentina, right? So, the oldest living tree is or is not in one of the oldest forests. As far as we know, the oldest tree might be all by itself. It might be a lonely tree. So, it is not in one of the oldest forests. Okay, now let's start part C. What does it say here? Find the bold words in the article, then choose A or B to complete the sentences. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're trying to understand words from context, right? So the words in bold, like launch, you want to find that up above, right? So let's look at that first one together. After a launch, a company starts to what a product? Now you have two choices. Does that mean to sell or design? What is the actual launch? Are we talking about the early stages where they're designing? What's the product going to be like? What's it going to do? What's it going to look like? Or are we talking about selling? Like it's going for sale at its launch. So, let's take a look. The video game war, however, sold, big clue, 6.5 million copies in the first 24 hours of its launch. So what happened? Right after the launch, they sold 6.5 million copies. So, what happens after a launch? The company starts to what a product? Sell or design? Based on this, sell. Okay, it should be sell. Let's read that together. Repeat after me. Ready? After a launch, a company starts to sell a product. Did you say it? Now let's try number 2. An inhabitant, let's try that again. An inhabitant is a thing or person that what a place. Inhabitant. And the choices you have are visits or lives in. So visit, right? Do you know visit? When we visit a place, we're there temporarily. Like I might visit Khao Yai on the weekend. I go there, I look around, I come home, I visit it. What about lives in? Lives in. Well, that means, for example, right now, I live in what? Korat. Right? This is where I live. So inhabitant. And let's look at the context too. Don't just listen to me. So, the world's longest snake is the scariest, there it is, inhabitant. It's the scariest inhabitant at a haunted house attraction in Kansas City, Missouri. So, what does that mean? Inhabitant at a haunted house attraction. The world's longest snake. Well, is it visiting the house, the haunted house, or is it living there? Right? Well, they're saying it's the scariest inhabitant at this haunted house attraction. It must not just be visiting, it lives there. It inhabits that place. So repeat after me. An inhabitant is a thing or person that lives in a place. Okay? Now try number 3. Consists of. So, if a street consists of one house, consists of. Now you might not know what that means, but there's the word here. I just found it. It consists of one house. So, consists of, it either has or is famous for. What is it famous for? It's the shortest street in the world, so it's definitely famous for that. consists of one house. If it consists of, it means it just has. It has one house. Consists of is taken up by one house. Now we know it's famous for its short length. You could even say it's famous for being a street with one house. But that's not what consists means. Consists is talking about this road, this famous road. We're describing it. It consists of one house. Number 4. Repeat after me. When something happens annually, it happens every... Now, you might know annually. Does that mean it happens every month or every year? So, where can we find that? Here we go. So, the most dangerous road in the world, on average, there are 300 deaths annually, right? Now, annual, do you think that's once a month or once a year, right? And they're talking about how it's the most dangerous in the rainy season, which is part of the year. Just like we have a rainy season in Thailand, they do in Bolivia, right? There's a certain rainy season where 300 people die annually, and most of them happen in this one part of the year. So it's not a month thing, it's out of the whole year. And they're contrasting that with the, where'd that go? The mosquito, where it kills more than 2 million people a year. So to make it equal, they're comparing two things by over a year. It would be harder for us to mentally compare if this was 300 deaths a month versus 2 million people in a year. You could do a quick calculation, but we know that this must be year. Number 5. A city that has 7,000 7,000 citizens has 7,000 what? What do they mean by a citizen? Did you find the word yet? Let's find that. There it is. Siam, with approximately 7,000 citizens, has buildings up to 12 stories high. So, Siam, it's a city, right? Citizens. So we talk about how many people live in a place where there's a lot of buildings that are 12 stories high, right? 7,000 citizens is people. Ooh, sorry, that's all messed up. People. A. Last one, a towering building is very towering. Did you find that word? However, Hong Kong, the place with the most skyscrapers, has 2,354 towering buildings. Towering, right? It's very short or tall. So if it's the place with the most skyscrapers, and we know skyscrapers are tall buildings, right? Then towering building is very tall. Did you get that? Okay, I hope you got these. If you have any question, you can ask your teacher. And I didn't read the last 3, I believe, so repeat after me. Let's try saying that. When something happens annually, it happens every year. I don't know why it has be a year. Okay, a city that has 7,000 citizens has 7,000 people. Can you say it? And please repeat the last one. A towering building is very tall. Please say that. Okay. Thank you very much.